WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold. If you are diabetic, I am sure you have been warned by your doctor about the circulation problems that may occur, especially in your legs and your feet. That is why Medicare still pays for a free new pair of shoes if you're diabetic. And also, there's a system called neuropathy that may settle in that can be treated by a non-invasive system best described as the anodyne therapy. Call 1-888-489-8980 and find out how your leg circulation could be possibly improved by the anodyne therapy. Anodyne therapy is a non-invasive way of producing warmth in your legs and is applied by a professional and in the convenience of your home or a nearby office. That's 1-888-489-8980. And if you'd like a free brochure on how Medicare can help you as a diabetic patient, many services are available for free. Call 1-888-489-8980.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And hopefully you're having a great day, and it's certainly an opportunity to enjoy looking at grass, even though it's not quite green. I actually appreciate knowing that spring is not too far away, and hopefully we can, as they say, spring forward. I like to just have the feeling that spring is right around the corner, and it is, and every minute we're getting closer and closer, and I hope that you look at it that you're looking forward instead of backward. Although we should do both in life. As you know, my tagline is that yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery. But if there's a gift that I can try to have you share is in the fact that enjoy the moment, because I have a series of Ikeisms, as I like to call them. One of them is that enjoy today, because today is going to be the good old days in the future. We have a lot going on in our world, and the sad part is that if you are constantly trying to think back how things were and not really enjoying the present, you're missing out on a lot. One of my pet peeves with people is that they worry many times unnecessarily. There's enough stuff that you can worry about, but don't stress the uncomfortable. Enjoy the moment. Try to get out as much as possible, especially as you go on in years. One of the downsides, of course, is that you lose close people in your life. And the good part of that, if there is such a thing, is that you had the enjoyment of being with them and celebrating what your relationships were. And I cannot stress the importance of mingling. And this afternoon, between 3 to 4 p.m., American House in West Bloomfield, right on Maple near Orchard Lake Road, is going to have a little mixer from 3 to 4. You're welcome to join me. They're going to be talking about benefits that veterans may be missing out on. It's free, light refreshments, especially if you're a veteran. I think you will benefit. And if you yourself are not a veteran, encourage veteran friends of yours. And this way you can hang out together, learn about things that veterans should be getting that they're not, and at the same time develop a relationship. Find good reason to keep it moving. As they say, move it or lose it. And someone who's practicing that in their daily life, and he's losing very little because he does a lot of moving. His name is Lou Goutman, and for those of you who listen to Bob Allison on a daily basis, he's sort of become the house guru. And I'm proud to have him as a close friend and also as a vice president of the Entrepreneurs Network Group that meets every Thursday morning from 9:15 to 11 a.m. at Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, in Bloomfield Hills, southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward. We have free coffee, free donuts. You talk about mingling, by golly, come on out there, and we can mix and mingle together. We have a speaker, we have a lot of fun. And now that we are living longer, there are a lot of people out there that retire, and then they find out that one or two things they didn't anticipate quite well. Number one, they really don't have as much money as they thought they would. So I say don't retire, but refire. If you are over 50 and you want to start a home-based business, I've done some seminars on Encore Entrepreneurship. Show up. It's free, 9:15 to 11 a.m. And the wonderful thing about it is when Lou can make it out, you'll get a chance to meet and greet him. And I've met him many times, and he's a wonderful guy. He's a former president of the Rotary Club and the Optimist Club, founder of the Rotary Club. I could go on, but why don't I have him go on and on? Are you ready to go on and on, Mr. Lou Goutman?
I am. My goodness, I had to stop and think about who you were really talking about for a moment here. I didn't recognize myself.
I'll remind you who you are.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the very kind words, and thank you. And as you mentioned, I do like to give a few tips every now and then on Bob's show on Ask Your Neighbor for the listeners who are just tuning in. I I hope that they also do listen to Ask Your Neighbor, preceding you not only on Wednesday, but every day from 9 to 11. We had talked a little bit about some safety things, and since this is the bright side of aging, and it's geared toward caregivers and older folks like ourselves, there's at least a story in the news, in the TV news, the radio news, or the newspaper, at least once a week about a home fire. And one of the things that is near and dear to my heart is, of course, to make sure that the neighbors are safe. So we want to make sure everybody has working smoke detectors and that the batteries are fresh. Oftentimes, the fire department, you'll hear sometimes they'll go into a house and they'll either not find smoke detectors, or they'll find that the batteries have been taken out and they're non-working. So that's point number one. But one of the other...
Before you go on, Lou,
yeah,
as far as the smoke detectors, how frequently do you suggest people change the battery?
Okay, so good question. First of all, if it's whether it's wired in or it's battery only, and the wired in smoke detectors still have a battery backup, the smoke detectors, or the batteries in the smoke detectors, need to be changed out once a year. A good way to remember that is during daylight saving time, the end of daylight saving time in the fall, when we fall back. Sadly, more home fires tend to happen in the fall and the winter season than they do during the summer. So that's a good time to get out there and replace it. The other thing is that the smoke detector itself really should be replaced every 10 years, because they become not as effective after 10 years. What happens is dust tends to accumulate inside, making them less effective, and there's a small amount of radioactive material in a lot of them that, again, just loses its potency, so to speak. For our listeners who don't know, you're a retired pharmacist, and so Ike knows.
I'm a refired pharmacist.
Refired.
The answer is
yes.
that daylight saving time might be a good way for you
yes.
to remember. Replace the batteries. It's well worth it. The other thought is that they've got different type batteries, lithium, the others.
Right.
What do you recommend?
Well, what I would recommend is that the neighbors check, or the listeners check, to see what the manufacturer of the smoke detector recommends. They will usually recommend the type of battery, because sometimes you can use the lithium-ion battery, sometimes just the good old-fashioned Duracell or Energizer or Rayovac battery. The alkaline batteries are sufficient. So I always check with the manufacturer, and if you don't have the paper if the listeners don't have the paperwork, then usually you can go online and look it up. But the important thing is to make sure that it is a working smoke detector. The other thing is, especially in the fall when we're using our furnace, is to make sure that there's a carbon monoxide detector somewhere in the house, and that should usually be in the sleeping area or sleeping areas of the home, in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. And those plug in and have a battery backup as well. Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas that is odorless, colorless, and tasteless. So unlike a natural gas leak that has the smell of rotten eggs, which, by the way, the gas detector will also pick that up as well.
That's great. Well, let me ask you, as far as the actual placement of them, bedrooms and the other in the hallway, where do you recommend they be put?
Well, mostly in the sleeping area, so really every bedroom should have one.
Right.
They're not recommended in areas where you're doing some cooking, like a kitchen, for example, because you can get false alarms sometimes.
Right. Well, I am reminded, since You brought it up. Phyllis Diller had a great line, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. She said, "You know you're a bad cook if you use the timer being the smoke detector."
Right, yes, right.
So if you're that bad, then don't do it. Lou, it's been a delight talking to you, and
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll give us some more tips. And, and are you ready for your tagline for the year 2018, Mr. Lou Goutman?
Yeah, I can hardly wait.
If you don't know what to do, call Lou. Whoa, all right.
All right.
We'll be right back, folks, with Dr. Andre Lee, who also has some great information that I know you can take advantage of. So don't go away. We'll be right back. If you are diabetic, I am sure you have been warned by your doctor about the circulation problems that may occur, especially in your legs and your feet. That is why Medicare still pays for a free new pair of shoes if you're diabetic. And also, there's a system called neuropathy that may settle in that can be treated by a non-invasive system best described as the anodyne therapy. Call 1-888-489-8980 and find out how your leg circulation could be possibly improved by the anodyne therapy. Anodyne therapy is a non-invasive way of producing warmth in your legs and is applied by a professional and in the convenience of your home or a nearby office. That's 1-888-489-8980. And if you'd like a free brochure on how Medicare can help you as a diabetic patient, many services are available for free. Call 1-888-489-8980.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome back, and I hope you heard the first segment with Lou Goutman about changing smoke detectors at least once a year when the time changes. I guess that works out to be twice a year. We go back and forth. Hopefully we're going to be going forward pretty soon for spring. And, they say there are so many simple things you can do for other people and make some very important changes in their life. If you have an elderly person or someone that you know that does not have smoke detectors, why not get them a gift of a smoke detector? And it's many times the difference between life and death. So for that smoke detector gift, you'll be helping and at the same time making a positive difference in people's lives. And the one thing is about living and all is that you want to stay healthy, and as you age you have to adjust to it. I have the ABCs of living, and one is adjusting and accepting where you're at, and B is being able to build the rest of your life, and C is staying connected with people that are important in your life. And I'm very pleased to be connected to a very intelligent, dynamic, I like to call him an entrepreneur's entrepreneur, because He took his background in the healthcare field as the former administrator for Highland Park General Hospital. That when they closed, he decided to use his expertise in getting hospices started, as well as being a consultant for healthcare professionals. He's got newsletters. He's got all kinds of books that he's written, and he's done programs in a fun way to promote good health habits. And he has fundraising ideas for organizations with his portrait program. So he's got more stuff than I have time to talk about, so I'll let him talk. Hello, Dr. Andre Lee.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you. And you're right. I've been enjoying it at this point. I've got 2 more books coming out here in the next couple of weeks that I just finished. And my exhibits are out and about. I just shipped one to Louisville, Kentucky. A healthcare system had it last year, and they ordered another one this year, so I'm thrilled to death.
Yeah, well, you're good. Well, I'm very pleased with you, and I am amazed that you get all that stuff done, because it takes time to put it together, and you've come up with a very novel idea, especially if you're African American and you want to know your background. You have a series of portraits that you actually ship out for as many months as the organization wants to handle it, and they can use it as a fundraiser. Do you want to describe the program with the portraits?
Yeah, it's a panel exhibit. I've got 3 of them. One in their own Black medical health legends in history, and organizations can bring it to their site and hang them on the wall, and people find them very interesting. And you can use it as a fundraiser. There are books to go along with it that you can turn around and sell, and there are posters that you can turn around and sell. So I would urge people, particularly now that Black History Month is coming up, to take advantage of it. Of course, my exhibit, I think I only have 1 exhibit left. The others are out already. Mm-hmm. But the books are available, so and the posters. And if you can't get it in for Black History Month, you can get it in for next month. I mean, there's no time limit on it as far as that goes. Mm-hmm. But it's a good fundraiser. And the other thing is I've got new programs coming out, webinars, and that I can do online. And some of them are based on games. In fact, I've got a bunch of games for kids. And I've got a lot of church interest in it lately, both in several states that have expressed an interest in having this game-a-thon show called Who Cares, brought to their location. It's a very interesting, exciting way for people to learn about health care while being entertained.
Right. So, yeah. Well, I've had the joy of attending them, and what people can expect is you can actually with video conferencing. You could do an interactive display asking very important questions about healthcare, and the right answer, of course, not only do you end up getting a prize, but you've learned something in the process.
Exactly,
right.
Exactly.
Right.
And a good example, let's talk about the flu for a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a hot topic right now, and everybody's worried about the flu.
Right.
And if you're an elderly person, of course, you should be. But if you're a healthy elderly person, you don't have to worry about it as much as you think, because you can usually weather that flu attack. But the best thing to do is just practice prevention. Clearly, washing your hands is a basic. And you just don't realize how unconsciously you touch so many things. So if you go to the grocery store, take that wipe that they got and wipe those handles down and constantly wash your hands. And, do you realize that people touch their face almost 50 to 100 times a day? We all do. We subconsciously don't realize how often we touch our nose and our eyes and our mouth. Right. And that's another way that you contract diseases, flu and things. You just constantly touching things. and if you think about it, just don't think about it. Try to be aware of it one day and see how often you do it. Now, I had a friend visit me yesterday who was an airline stewardess, and we were talking about it, and I said, you're in that confined space. How do you manage to not get sick? Oh, yeah, we get sick now. You know, you got a lot of sick people get on there coughing and things. And I said, well, what do you do? She says, well, besides washing your hands a lot, she says, what I do is I take a lot of multivitamins. You know, that I don't know. I take echinacea. You don't know whether they say it's effective, but you don't really know. There's no evidence to support it, but people take it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And she said there's all kinds of dietetic teas on the market that and I've taken them myself. And I recommend you drink a cup of that dietetic tea. It's a laxative. It works maybe once, twice a week. And it's very mild, and it gives you, gives you the run for a minute and cleans your system out.
Right.
And you know, that doesn't take a whole lot, and it's not like, you know, it's not really hard on you.
Right.
So those are the kind of things that I think people should do.
Right. And these are basic, you know, things that you take for granted, and especially as you age, fluids are very important, because even at the flu time, you have to stay hydrated. You got to stay lubricated. You know, we spend more time. We spend more time changing oil in a car than we do lubricating our own body.
Oh,
so,
that is so true.
Right. Now, some of the books you wrote, the one that stands out is that, especially as you age, you accumulate so much stuff. So you've got a book.
Yes, that's one of the books that's coming out. I have Loose Ends 2, Bringing Order Out of Disorder. That's the new title. And it should be out here in about a couple of weeks. I would have it as soon as, you know, I'm going to Australia.
Oh boy!
So I'll be gone a week. But and I'm going out to deal with some Aborigine kids. Who want to go to college. There's about 500 or 600 of them.
Wow.
So I'm excited about that.
Well, you should.
But the book will be out as soon as I get back.
All right.
Okay?
Well, if anyone's interested in what you have now, they're always welcome to call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, and I'll be glad to coordinate getting the message out. And the point is that the books themselves we talked about connecting. You can have connections with people. Let's say if you're at a church as a discussion, the book is titled, How You Bring Order Out of Disorder. Now, I have a challenge for you, Dr. Lee. When you tell me when you're ready, sir. The title sounds so appropriate, not only for people's daily needs. Can you do a version for Washington, how to bring order out of disorder? I think there's different.
I need an encyclopedia set for that one. Oh my God, that is such a mess up there.
I think it has a potential. Well, think about it. We'll talk about that on our next visit, because I've run out of time for this one. It's been a delight talking to you. Have a good one. And I never like to leave this segment without my favorite parting thought, which is, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with a bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because, as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others, because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other in achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
If you're one of those folks who needs a helping hand, like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or help you pay your bills, run your errands, laundry pickup and delivery, maybe somebody to help you with bathing and grooming or in-home hair cutting and styling, you can't get out and you need medical help, maybe a doctor, a dentist, a nurse, a podiatrist, you name it, or prescription delivery, House Calls on Wheels is the answer. They provide both non-medical and medical services in your home. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour if you're using any of the medical services, and all of the medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. Call House Calls on Wheels for further information. It's a toll-free number, 1-888-489-8980. That's House Calls on Wheels, 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome, and hopefully you can join us for our Thursday morning encounters, or better put, mix and mingle. If you are open to mingling, then by golly, we have the opportunity for you in terms of getting together. We meet tomorrow morning at 9:15 to 11 a.m. at Level 1 Bank. And Level 1 Bank is right on the southeast corner of Woodward and Big Beaver, 37100 Woodward in Bloomfield Hills. It's free to attend. If you want to mingle with other entrepreneurs, then by golly, you should show up, and you're going to hear a speaker talking about bartering. Actually, his name is Bob Millman. He is the founder of X-Trade, which is a way that you can conserve cash because you do bartering. And also you'll have the opportunity, if you want to join us afterward, from 11:30 to 1, we go up the street to Little Daddy's, and you just pay for what you order, and then we get a chance to not only recap our meetings, but if you have any particular challenges or opportunities that might be out there that you'd like to take advantage of in starting your business, by all means, they say 90% of success is just showing up. So all you got to do is show up. If you can't make it from 9:15 to 11, or do both, from 11:30 to 1, go to Little Daddy's, and you'll have a chance to mix and mingle, and you'll learn new strategies of building or starting your own business. And I'm really excited about having people that I've met at the Entrepreneur Network meetings. We've been doing them for 40 years, so I must and do something right, one of the things that I've done correctly is surround myself by successful entrepreneurs and actually develop strong friendships, and we've become sort of like a team of trying to help one another. And if I got a deal for you, if you are interested in finding out what you could do better in your current business or starting your own business, you have a great opportunity tonight to hear a dynamic entrepreneur, Dan Nichols. He'll be speaking from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Royal Oak Library, sharing his experiences, both the good ones and the bad ones, as I like to say. And he's one of these speakers that just gets you excited in the way he handles his topic. And he's got a lot of good stuff. And I hope Dan Nichols is on the line to share that stuff. Are you there, Mr. Dan Nichols?
I am here.
All right, and I am here. I'm so glad you called in. So your second of 3 seminars is on tonight. Is that correct?
Yes, it's 2 or 3, and it's a 3-part series. Tonight and next week I'll be doing kind of a lot, definitely a good significant portion of tonight's and next Wednesdays will be the fun stuff that all the entrepreneurs like to talk about, which is the marketing and the sales and how to make the money. Last week we dove into some of the legalistic-y kind of stuff, not because I'm an attorney and I don't give legal advice, but just kind of opinion around some of that stuff. And then this week we'll dive into some marketing and sales and also some process and procedure stuff around small businesses. And then next week as well, I've kind of learned to break it up because I'm more likely to get people to come. Nobody's as interested in sitting through the tax-related conversations. They are the marketing.
Right. So, Dan Nichols, you've got actually a whole program out there that I know you've got your program from a lemonade stand. Is that right? Do you still have that available?
Of course I do. I mean, that's my passion, Ike. It's my heart's desire to try to really make that business work online and help entrepreneurs all over the world. That's thriveorchard.teachable.com. And Teachable spelled Teachable. thriveorchard.teachable.com. I've got a course online. It's really comprehensive. What I do at the library is sort of a sizzler taste test of all the different things that I help entrepreneurs with. Good fun stuff, but a primer. Whereas with the one I do online is actually a really deep dive into their business launch. I help them through the startup process, through the whole thing to get them from the idea to the launch date. And that's what thriveorchard.teachable.com. That's what that website, that's what that process is. And it's a 40-day process, and I walk them through all the different facets of launching a business, including a lot of their mind games that they play, their head games.
Right. Now, for those of you who don't know your background, how about giving us your 60-second elevator pitch, Dan Nichols?
60 seconds. You put me on the spot with this one. Every time it makes me scared. I've been self-employed my whole adult life. I've often laughed about it. People say, "Oh, you were born an entrepreneur." I'm like, well, I think I was born when I saw the possibility of being one. And I think that's the part that excites me the most. And it's not that I think entrepreneurship is better. For me, in my particular DNA, who I am, it's what I got. It's who I am. So self-employed since I was 18 out of high school all the way through college. Everything from lawn maintenance and which I started out of high school because what else do you do when you're 18? You get a lawnmower and go out and cut lawns. I mean, that's what I did anyway. And then went from that into the entertainment industry. I continued to this day, 20-plus years later, to do game shows for companies all over the country. I've done a Microsoft, Ford, Chrysler. Just did one for NBC about a month ago. I've done them all over the place, Family Feud and Jeopardy-style gaming. I've also keynoted with TD Ameritrade and shared the stage with Colin Powell, Bill Clinton, Lou Holtz. That's kind of that was my 15 seconds of fame. I really loved that. I actually sold stock trading software from the stage. It was a blast. Anyway, and then probably 5 or 10 other things of which don't fit into 60 seconds. I just love helping entrepreneurs. I mean, at the end of the day, though, what it is like for me, it's helping people, watching those light bulbs go off of possibility in their head. That's what excites me. Right. All the other stuff, like, I have a business doing X. So what? Who cares? Let me help you start it. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to help people start it. I want to help them see that possibility in themselves.
So if someone gets a hold of you, you sort of do a evaluation and assessment of their strengths and weaknesses, and then you see if indeed you're a good fit for one another. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say. I mean, if somebody says, "Hey, Dan, I want to go through the course," I enroll them into the course online, and then twice weekly we have a conversation to see where each of the entrepreneurs at that particular class or that cycle are at, and if they're stuck on something, I walk them through that. And to say that I evaluate them, yeah, I do want to make sure they're a fit, because I don't want to take somebody's money if it's not a fit. It's no good for me, and it's no good for them, and all it does is lead to somebody having a bad attitude about the experience. So I'm not interested in that kind of karma.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's safe to say. And I love to share this one story. So I don't know if you need to take a quick break or
no. We'll take one in a few minutes, but go ahead.
Okay, cool. I love to share the story. I had the opportunity and the complete pleasure at one point of working for a nonprofit in Detroit called the Detroit Entrepreneurship Institute, and it was on 4th Street, and it was my businesses have often been very seasonal. And I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to make my course so it's 12 months of the year, everything's bumping. But I've often had very seasonal businesses. But anyway, it was during a slow time, and I thought, you know what? Look at this opportunity that popped up. I saw it in the paper. That's when people actually had newspapers. But you remember those, Ike?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so I saw this opportunity. I jumped on it. I never thought in a million years that they'd hire me to be a coach. This was 20 years ago. And the reason I say that is because I didn't have an accounting background, and the other coaches did. There were 5 coaches in total. So, make a long story short, I got a call into the founder's office one day, and she said, "Dan, I got to ask you a question." She said, "I've got 5 consultants here, 5 coaches that work with these entrepreneurs and help them launch a business. We have the awards banquet this weekend." She said, "Over half of the people that are getting awards and receiving grants from the bank, they're your clients." She said, "Why? Why, when I have 5 people, are over half of them just one guy's clients?" It didn't take me, and I didn't even pause for a second, Ike. I said to her, "Kathy," I said, "I'll tell you why." I said, "Because I'm the psychology philosophy guy here. The rest of them are all accounting and tax people. They're great people. I love them. To this day, I'm still in contact with several of them. But the difference is I sit in there and talk to them about what's going on between their ears, their scares, their fears, their worries, their concerns. Whereas the other ones are talking about 5-year cash flow projections. You tell me what's more relevant to that entrepreneur. It's their concerns, worries, and fears. That's what we need to move through. It's not 5-year cash flow projections. Not at that stage. It's not. So I think that's a cool story.
Well, the point is that you're the entrepreneur's idol in this way. No, because the truth of it is, as an entrepreneur, what you should always be mindful of is that if you do same old that everybody else is doing, you're getting yourself into an ocean that there are a lot of sharks around. But if you see a need that's not being fulfilled and you have the talent for it, then you've got yourself a successful opportunity ahead. And you'll be bringing more of those thoughts out tonight at the Royal Oak Library for free, 6:30 to 8:30. I plan on helping and trying to participate with some remarks. As you know, I enjoy schmoozing with people, so we can schmooze together and learn together. So look forward to seeing you tonight, 6:30 to 8:30 at Royal Oak Library. Dan Nichols will share some great entrepreneurial thoughts on how to start and build your business. Thanks for calling in, sir. I look forward to seeing you tonight, okay?
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right. We'll be right back with a real bull market type guy. Guess what? His name is Kevin Bull. Don't you dare go away. House Calls on Wheels has a great idea on how you can help your loved ones stay comfortable, independent, safe, and right at home by converting your attached garage or retrofitting your home to a customized home healthcare suite. Call 888-489-8980. The Healthcare Suite is a customized floor plan which quickly and easily converts your garage or modifies any room inside your home into a comfortable living area in less than 90 days. If you'd like, the unit has its own heating, air conditioning, and plumbing system, even a private bathroom, and all of this for less than a year's stay in a nursing home. And we have a budget plan so that we can work within your budget. Call 888-489-8980. We even have a free video that you can see. Call 888-489-8980 and find out about the Healthcare Suite now. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now. And we're back, and hopefully you have on your calendar Thursday mornings. You can start out the day with fellow entrepreneurs, or if you're not an entrepreneur and want to be an entrepreneur, join us 9:15 to 11 a.m. at Level 1 Bank. It's free. It's for people who want to start or build their business or not sure about what they want to do. We'll help you in that direction as well. Level 1 Bank is at the one that we meet at, is at 37100 Woodward, southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward. And not only do you have an opportunity to mix and mingle, but we have a door prize drawing that if you have your card pulled, you will get an opportunity to be on this show, a 10-minute radio interview, where the whole world can hear what you have to say. Why do you say that? Well, we post these programs on YouTube, so you can have a terrific marketing tool readily available to you. And that's our mission. The Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan is devoted to helping you achieve your goals. So come on by, you'll have a good time, you'll walk out smarter than you walked in, and we give you donuts and coffee, and also have the advantage of being able to get you started in the direction that you want to go, so that if you are sort of stumbling along, we'll help you unstumble. And I'm really excited about a fellow member of the Entrepreneur Network just joined up with us. His name is Kevin Bull. And we hear about bull markets and bear markets. If you look at Kevin Bull, you'll realize he's not a bear, but he's going to help you in a bully way of promoting marketing. Kevin Bull as a social media manager, digital marketer for small business. Are you ready to fulfill that description, Mr. Kevin Bull?
Yes, very much. Glad to be here, Ike.
Great. For those folks that don't know your background, why don't you give us your 60-second elevator pitch?
Thanks, Ike. Again, thanks for having me here today. I am a former Detroit Free Press sports editor the last 2 years, and I have a 25-year journalism career. But right now, I want to help grow small businesses. So no matter your business, a bakery, a dry cleaner, a dentist, a life coach, independent insurance agent, I could go on and on. You need to have an impactful and engaging online presence in 2018, one that clearly defines what service and products you are selling, and one that interacts with and responds actively with potential customers. You need to have an online presence that shows you are the authority on this business. You are an expert in the field, whether through blogs, videos, posts, all the content you share and produce. And you need testimonials and reviews that support this. An engaging Facebook business page is a must, a vehicle that can share your content. And you can get reviews on that, in addition to reviews on your Google and Yelp page, the two most popular sites that hopefully everybody has their business on. You need your best customers to leave their reviews. And if there are unfavorable reviews, make sure you respond to those in a timely manner. People will appreciate that. So I help small businesses by managing their digital presence, managing social media, and working with customers individually on the best ways to grow their business.
Now, I keep hearing a lot of good and bad stuff about Facebook. What are your thoughts as to whether a business should have a Facebook page?
Yes, I think every business should have a Facebook page. There's 2 billion users every month on Facebook. There's 50 million business pages on Facebook. It's sort of, the yellow pages of 2018. You got to be listed in there. It's where everyone interacts. It's the most popular social media, and there's so many great ways to share your content, share your ideas, what you're doing, show the world where you're at, and share specials and announcements with your business. It's a great way to do that. Now, Facebook's changing some of their algorithms, but that just means you need to be more engaging as a business. You need to have your readers and followers comment and share and talk about your business on there to get in front of the people, because Facebook wants to limit the stale content, the content no one's reading, or that causes noise in their feed. So you need to have an active Facebook page for sure, whether it's share videos and photos and make it engaging.
So if someone is interested, they hear about Facebook, do you help them actually develop get it started as well as keep it going? Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. I set it up for you in addition to a Google or Yelp business page if they're applicable. Certainly brick and mortar businesses should definitely have those too. But yes, I help create the Facebook page and then talk about with each customer the content we should put on that page. You don't want to do too much content. You don't want to be posting 5-6 times a day, but you want to have a good plan throughout the week, and then I do manage the page for them as well.
Now, if anyone's interested, what phone number, how do they get a hold of you?
Best way to reach me is by email. My email is Kevin Bull, that's just my name, B-U-L-L, B as in boy, 44@gmail.com.
And, of course, anyone is interested the old-fashioned way, call me on my toll-free number, 888-489-8980, and we can connect you with a telephone. Is that right? You do answer the phone, right?
Yes, definitely, yes.
Of all the forms of advertising with digital marketing, that's part of the benefits of joining up with our Entrepreneur Network membership, is we participate in a lot of trade shows. So there's still the human being to human being connection that we promote. But when someone like Kevin Bull comes along and you have advantage of technology, take advantage of it. And I hear a lot about digital profiles. What is your opinion? Why is your digital profile more important than ever?
Yeah, so it reflects who your business is. Nowadays everyone is online. More and more people are online. There was a study that showed 92% of customers read online reviews before visiting a business. 94% of customers do business with 4-star ratings and up. So positive reviews equals revenue. So if you want revenue, you need positive reviews. You need a positive digital profile. And, it's important what your business reflects you properly. And, you want, it can only help you to have a engaging and, interactive digital profile.
Mm-hmm. Now, with your journalism background, you can actually help people that they know what they'd like to say, but they don't know how to say it. Is that a good description?
For sure, yes. a lot of experience writing, rewriting. Some of the reporters that have worked with me for me, definitely want to make sure you're conveying the right message for your company. I'll use an example from sports. If Justin Verlander is traded, at the Free Press, we would obviously report the news of him being traded. But then after about 5 minutes, okay, everybody knows he's been traded. What can you tell me about the trade? Was it good for the Tigers? Is it going to hurt them in 5 years? Who are the prospects coming back? The why and how part of the trade is, almost more important, certainly becomes more important after the trade. So that's the kind of content you need to make sure you're expressing on your site.
Now, if someone calls you, the initial consultation, I assume you do not charge for, is that correct?
Oh, definitely, yes, if not the second meeting as well. I want to make sure, the customer fully knows what we're talking about and what I can do for them.
Are you able to go into almost any type of business to get them the story put together the proper way and how to get it out there digitally? Is that what you pride yourself as one of your strengths?
For sure, yeah. Each new client would have a 1-hour interview with me where I want to know your life story, your business story, because all those are little details I would use, roll out later as I'm managing the content. You don't want to do everything right away, and there'll be certain things you want to know, causes they support, businesses they support. You'll want to kind of show that a little bit because it puts a little bit of a human perspective behind their business so they know who the person is.
Well, I can't claim being the original guy to have said it, but I remember there's always a saying that one good way of judging people is not about what they say, but who they hang out with. And I understand you hung out with Mitch Albom, is that right?
Yes, indeed. I guess I was technically his boss for 2 years at the Free Press and worked with him. No one cares more about their craft and their writing and each word particularly than Mitch Albom. So it's an honor and pleasure to work with him for, the full 12 years that I was at the Free Press and then, managing him directly the last 2 years.
Oh, that's terrific. I mean, he certainly is a name that anybody that ever reads a book or a newspaper has heard, and I had the privilege of meeting him a few times, and he's right down to earth, and that is a gift that someone like him, of course, is in the mega world of being able to get the message across. But if you don't have quite that talent, do you feel you can take advantage of some of the experiences you had with somebody that's as good as in his craft as he is, so you can help a novel new guy get into the novel business as well? Is that correct?
Yep, I'll work with anybody, and as long as we'll have a good working relationship, and I'll use a lot of the strategies I use to get people to read Free Press stories, to get people to be interested and engage in small businesses.
Well, I personally, we talked after the air, want to get involved with you to help me in my path. Unfortunately, we run out of time right for this segment, and I never like to leave it without my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this